We've all got that friend or heard the story of somebody that got into short-term rentals and renting out Airbnbs and makes tens of thousands of dollars a month in profit off of that. I'm gonna challenge you today to reach back out to those people and ask them how they're doing right now in today's market. I'm here to tell you that Airbnb and short-term rentals are slowly dying right now. Today, we're gonna break down exactly why so you can determine if this is the right investment strategy for you, because going forward, you're going to have to be much more strategic to start making short-term rentals cash flow. Hey guys, I'm Andrew Lewis, real estate investor and entrepreneur with over 10 years experience building and growing a real estate team and investing in real estate. Before we get into today's video, make sure you take a moment and hit the like button, leave us a comment about any questions you might have, and be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on future videos. I'm here to help you break out of the 9-to-5, gain financial freedom, and grow wealth through real estate. Today, I'm gonna give you 3 reasons why the Airbnb market is declining and causing homeowners a problem when it comes to cash flow on the short-term rental side. And then to wrap it all up, I'll give you some tips on how you can stay in the Airbnb game and continue to run a successful business as the years go on. Reason number 1 is oversupply. So we all know that when it comes to sales, it's all about supply and demand. When there is a lack of supply, and increased demand, then prices go up. When there is an overabundance of supply and lack of demand, then those prices go down. And the Airbnb short-term rental game is no different. When there is an overabundance of supply, you're going to see lower nightly rents coming through. You're going to see fewer bookings coming through because there's just so many more options. So during the pandemic, an increase came along for second home purchases. We saw many people step into the real estate market to become investors on the short-term rentals, again, because they had a friend or a brother, or they saw YouTube or a podcast that was talking about short-term rentals and the amazing profits that they were having. Well, people saw that interest rates were at the near 2% mark, and they decided that was their opportunity to jump into the short-term rental game. Those people bought into markets like lakes and ski resorts and popular vacation destinations, and they've oversaturated the market. A lot of people would argue here that the reason that Airbnbs are slowing down is because of looming recession and the market changing and rates are up and people are scared, but that is not the case. We've actually seen a 21% increase in bookings year over the past few months, but we've seen a 23% increase in supply in the market as far as marketed short-term and Airbnb rental type homes. So that supply has flooded the market. There's way more options for people out there. And so homeowners that have been taking advantage of short-term rentals for years and years, making tens of thousands of dollars every month, are being squeezed out of the market by the other competition. Previously, you did not have to have a beautiful home to put it up on Airbnb. And now we've seen that change over time. Now the best marketed and the best looking homes, those are the ones that are getting booked. Obviously, location and some of those pieces matter as well, but if you fix that property up, it's got great finishings, great furniture, interior design, it's going to be booked much more often. So we've seen people fall off that haven't kept up with that game and haven't evolved their business to keep up with the increase in supply and the lack of demand. Reason number 2 is there has been a massive slowdown in daily rate increases. Just like with long-term rentals, when we talk about raising those rents every single year, you should be raising those by 3% a year at least to keep up with inflation. You should be doing the same thing on the short-term rental side. Your cleaning expenses go up, your furnishings go up, everything is going up on you, including the interest rates if you've bought here recently, and so you need to be increasing those average nightly rates on your property. Well, we've seen that those have actually been predicted to only grow by 1.7% on average for 2023. Guess what? That means that even those increases are not keeping up with inflation here in our country, and so you are actually sliding backwards on the profitability scale every single year right now with your Airbnb. And last but not least, gone are the days of the unregulated wild west of short-term rentals. Cities are beginning to crack down on these rentals as neighbors complain, and they're saying that it's bringing property values down as tenants are moving in on a daily basis and causing a problem with the neighborhood. So some cities are outright banning the short-term rental altogether, and this is something that you have to factor in as you're owning those properties. You could very well own one currently that will be prohibited from being rented out on a short-term rental basis here in the very near future. Now your options there are going to be convert that into a midterm rental with a 30-day or longer rental contract, or you're gonna have to turn that into a long-term rental and slash your profits down to next to nothing because you didn't calculate that in advance. So be aware that there are cities cracking down. Many are making you have permits. They're giving out limited number of permits. And so these days of the unregulated wild west of making tens of thousands of dollars because nobody in the neighborhood knew what was going on, that's starting to catch up to you. So be aware that as you're buying in some of these areas, you may see some of these short-term rentals go away. Do I think they're gonna go away 100% all over the place? I do not believe that. There will still be pockets that will allow it because it is bringing in tourist income into areas. So some of those popular travel destinations would be crazy to turn those away and turn away the revenue that is being brought into their cities on a daily and weekly basis. So I don't believe it's fully going to go away, but in some of the more bedroom communities where people live and commute out for work and there's just not a ton of tourist attractions in the area, I believe you're gonna see some of those short-term rentals go away. So as those markets shrink, you're also gonna see less demand coming for the Airbnb market because there's just not gonna be those Airbnb options anywhere, right? If I'm going to a wedding in the middle of nowhere, Missouri, I can typically look up and find a short-term rental there and provide a space for my entire family. If that area starts to crack down on those things and it becomes less frequent for us to be able to find those, and you can only find them in areas like Palm Springs or in Vail, Colorado, and just areas that are touristy type destinations, then people are gonna stop using the platform. They're gonna get much more used to hotel stays again, and that's really gonna eat into your profits. So as promised, this video is not all doom and gloom. Again, it's not going away 100%, but you're going to have to up your game as a host if you want to stay in the Airbnb rental game. If you're willing to just continue to do the same thing and expect the same results, it's not going to happen. Your business is going to slowly die off. You will be upside down, forced to sell that. And if you bought it here during the craze of the last 2 years, you may very well likely be upside down. There are many Airbnb markets that got overinflated because of the potential for profits. And as those have been squeezed down, those people are looking at having to sell those homes for a loss due to a major decline in prices as the Airbnb boom has gone away in some of those areas. So time to step up your game. You need to step up your client experience. Remember, this is a hospitality business and you need to provide a wow customer service experience that gets you wow reviews on those websites, on those short-term rental websites, and gets guests coming back time and time again. You should have a home that is decorated so well, people are taking pictures and posting them all over their social media for every single time that they stay at that property, and they're tagging you in it. That is going to help you continue to grow your business. So even if you have a profitable Airbnb, it may be time to take a look at changing some design and maybe freshening it up maybe every few years so clients have a repeat experience but with a new vibe inside of that property. So step up your hosting game, make sure that you are taking care of their needs, provide them a great experience, go above and beyond on the customer service side. And lastly, it's time to up your marketing game. You need to get out there and study the algorithms to make sure that your property is being reached to the maximum number of people. How can you be ranked higher on Airbnb? How can you advertise it differently? Can you run ads to some of your feeder markets? If you live in San Diego and you've got a property up in the desert in Palm Springs, how can you run advertisements to those people that are coming to Palm Springs? Where are they coming from? Run direct ads to those people with your home on there and start to feed them into that property. So if you want to stay in this business and you want to start making those thousands of dollars a month again, you're gonna need to step up the game a little bit, put some work into it, or hire somebody to manage it and hold them to the results. Make sure that you're giving that wow experience and that you're marketing this property well if you want to stay in the game. So I said it, Airbnbs are coming to a close. They are slowing down. You are going to need to up your game to stay in it, or shift your investment strategy completely to get into the midterm or the long-term game if you can't shake it on the short-term rental side of things. So if you enjoyed today's video, make sure you take a minute to hit that like button, leave us a comment below, let us know how your profits have changed on the Airbnb, or if I'm wrong in your area, leave it below so other people know where to come in and do some investing. And be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on future videos. I'm here to help you break out of the 9 to 5, gain financial freedom, and grow wealth through real estate. We'll see you next time.